Today, we're exposing the one phrase people use when they have zero intention of building a long-term relationship with you, but every intention of using you. Welcome to the Campbell and Amanda podcast. My name is Campbell.
My name is Amanda.
And my friends, here is that one phrase that should set off alarms. I'm not ready for a relationship, but I don't want to lose you. Exactly. What's the translation of that to you, honey?
I want to give you, I want your loyalty without giving you mine.
Exactly.
Right? So you can be loyal to me. Just wait for me until I'm ready.
Exactly.
And I want access to you without responsibility.
I want access without responsibility. I want the cookie without the responsibility.
Yes. I want you to be mine without me making a commitment.
Without making a commitment. So I want the opportunity and privilege of calling you my girlfriend or my boyfriend without the commitment of what that relationship entails. And my friends, this is the one phrase that should set alarm bells off for you. And we want to really dive into this today because this is basically manipulation clothed in emotional language. That's what it is. And they're trying to keep the door open for them and not really for you.
Right. An open door that they can walk out of. And it's not vulnerability. It's not availability. It is manipulation.
Exactly.
Really. And you become a tool.
And here's why. I think it's important. Sometimes we say we don't understand why people do what they do and why people say what they say. So let's ask this question even before we dive into how to help you navigate this kind of question. Maybe let's explore why people would say this.
I mean, they're afraid of commitment. They're afraid of uncertainty. They're afraid.
Yes.
Or they don't want, like we said, any responsibility.
Or they're just also emotionally unavailable, but they still want the connection.
That's true.
And I think that the connection is more physical than it is emotional. There's certain things that they're getting from the relationship that they feel like is good for them. Maybe it is a physical aspect of the relationship, but they're emotionally unavailable.
And I would say that it comes from maybe a model, that this is what has been modeled for them and it's been normalized for them. And then also, really it's, like you said, you want the benefits.
You want the benefits.
Yeah, friends with benefits.
And they're stringing you along while they're exploring other options, right? So they want to keep you on a leash. They want you to be available for them without them giving you their loyalty while they explore other options. What if this doesn't work out, right?
I mean, that's so often, this is the first step that people take in relationship. We're going to try out.
Yeah, we're going to try
things out. We'll try each other out without actually becoming emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah.
There's that physical aspect that leads, and there's that lack of commitment because you're getting what you want.
Yeah. And they often say, let's see where this goes. Right? And they love the benefits, like you said. They love the benefits of your attention, the benefits of your body, the benefits of your support without the cost.
Right.
And so I think it's important that we understand that they're not confused. They're basically comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Commitment makes people uncomfortable.
Yes.
And they're
because
happy.
Go ahead.
And I mean, and they're happily enjoying the benefits of you being a tool.
Exactly. And I think that, commitment is scary for people because it says to them, you have a part to play in this. The success of this relationship is dependent on both of us being fully engaged and fully available. And some people are not just ready to make that jump. And so when you accept somebody who says, you know what, I'm not ready for a relationship, but I still want us to be in some kind of friendship, basically what you have created is an environment where they now feel comfortable and will never make that commitment.
Right. You've not set a boundary
You've not said, yeah,
or an expectation
exactly.
that my loyalty comes at a price.
Exactly. And also that's when we find people in very long-term relationships, and especially women, and wondering like, why hasn't he popped the question?
Right. Because you've given him everything he wants.
Exactly. All right. So let's talk about signs that you are being used beyond the words. Let's look beyond the words. You want to do the first one?
They only reach out when it's convenient for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we do this with friendships as well.
Yes.
Regardless of slapping the romantic label on there, we do this with friendships. We use people for our convenience.
We all have that one friend that will only call because they need something. And when you see their number, you're like, oh, I wonder what he wants or wonder what she wants. Right?
Or family member.
Or family member. I'm like, oh, well, there we go. What does he want? Right? Yeah, but they only reach out when it's convenient for them or when they need something.
Right.
When you see that, it is a sign for you that you are being used.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like I said, some of these habits have become conditioned because they were modeled, and this is how people were in transactional relationships, be they friendships or romantic relationships. They were always transactional. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And so you think that that's normal, and you're really using people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they also avoid defining the relationship. Like, what is this?
Right.
Yes. Why are you laughing?
I'm just thinking of a
situation.
A situation.
Yeah, but they avoid defining, like, where are we going with this? Right? And it's okay we don't expect people on their first couple of dates to go like, I think I'm ready for the next step. But if you've been going out and having fun with somebody, you love hanging around with them, and whenever the subject of defining what this relationship is going to be or is, they avoid the conversation, that is a sign that you're being used.
Yeah, definitely a sign that you're being manipulated.
Yes. So put a label on it. Are we girlfriend, boyfriend? Are we, how far are we taking this? Are we considering marriage? Right? Because even after you define a relationship as boyfriend, girlfriend, many people remain in that status for a very long time without discussing what's next.
Mm-hmm. What are our plans? Do we do we want to build a life together?
Yes. And unfortunately, we see so many people, even at the girlfriend, boyfriend stage, begin to make decisions that should really be reserved for somebody you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And I know we live in America, and I know it's a thing where boyfriends and girlfriends move in together. But moving in together is a big step.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a shared life. And unless you're just going to be roommates.
Yes. I mean, you start sharing the bills. You start
even
sharing
as
space.
Roommates, you're sharing bills. You're sharing
Yes.
space. Who's going to buy the food? Who's going to, unless you just are literally roommates who, this is your space, this is mine.
And there's so many young people who go to that step of moving in at the girlfriend-boyfriend stage that the breakup just becomes messy and so painful. And you could have avoided that if you had pushed to have the relationship defined.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the next sign?
They disappear emotionally after getting what they want. And I mean,
One bam, thank you, ma'am.
classic sign of being used. They disappear. Or they say your needs are too much, but theirs are always urgent.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's really selfish and one-sided. I get what I want, and that's, the relationship being undefined meets their needs.
Yes. And we've heard people break up like, I supported him so much in his endeavors. And when I needed, or when I went through a period where I needed emotional support and somebody just to lean on, he bounced. He left.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is a classic sign and it's so painful for you to discover that you were being used at that moment when you need that person to be there for you.
Right. And, I think of movies like The Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you've been that support person for your partner for all these years. You're the one who put them through school. You're the one who provided a stable home, and now they're successful, and you get no credit, and you're looked down upon because you're not at their level. But you got them there.
You got them. And I know a lot of people give Tyler Perry grief for some of his storylines, but I can tell you that, or we can tell you that those things are rooted in reality, where there is this mutual understanding of, I will sacrifice for the next however many years so that you can get set up and that we can build our dream together.
Yeah.
Right? And when that person accomplishes what they wanted and have a taste of power and position and possessions, all of a sudden they're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. And I mean, that is the person who's loyal, the person who is standing by you, supporting you. That's oftentimes their biggest fear.
Exactly. And oh my gosh, it drives me nuts that these billionaires do that too. Like your wife was there all this time when you were building your $1 billion plus company. And when you make it, you trade them in for a younger model.
Right.
With puffy lips. Like, what are we doing? Like, dude, really? Oh my God, that drives me nuts to no end. Like, you used your wife to provide stability in your life. And when you made it, you dumped her? Like, really? We grew apart. And then you go and marry a 24-year-old. Gosh.
The problem is that you think you is singular. You made it.
Yeah, you made it.
But you together made it.
Exactly.
And your wife made that possible. Or vice versa.
Yes. All right. Let me get off my soapbox on that one. But here is another sign that you're being used. You feel anxious, uncertain, or drained after every interaction. A lot of people ignore this.
Yeah. I mean, in friendship or in relationships, this is a telltale sign that, like, these people are toxic for you. And you should walk away. But if somebody's stringing you along, you're hopeful that, that they will change.
Yes.
You're hopeful that they will decide that they want and make a commitment to be loyal to you as you are to them. You missed the sign that this is toxicity.
Yes.
And this is not anything that feeds your life and feeds you in a healthy manner.
Yeah. And any healthy relationship will have periods when one of you is in a place where you need the other person to be the emotionally strong one, right? You need them to be the person that energizes you, that encourages you. But that should be a short season. But whenever you get around somebody and if they're constantly making you feel anxious, like, oh my gosh, when you see their number, you start having heart palpitations, or when you talk to them, there's just so much uncertainty, or after every conversation or most of your conversations, you feel drained. That is a sign that you are being used as an emotional support. All right. And this isn't love. And I love this term. This is simply emotional loitering. Just hang around you.
It's a crime.
It's a crime.
Loitering can be a crime.
It can be a crime. And you deserve so much more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, man, you're being strung along for so long in these relationships sometimes. You got to actually step out and not be afraid to start over.
Exactly.
And to have some expectations and boundaries.
Yep. Okay, so let's kind of transition into what to say instead of just staying silent. Because a lot of people don't know how to respond to that. When somebody calls you and say, or you ask them to say, hey, what is this? What is this relationship? They just say, I don't want a long-term relationship, or I don't want a relationship, but I still want us to remain friends. I still want us to hang out. A lot of people don't know how to come back from that, and they usually respond with just silence and let it slide. So if they hit you with, I'm not ready for something serious, try saying this instead.
Thank you for letting me know. I'm not looking to waste my time with someone unsure about me.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like that. Elaborate.
Well, I mean, just by saying that, you're saying you would be wasting my time stringing me along because you are not sure if you want to be loyal or committed to me. And you are communicating your values. I want somebody who is committed to be with me, to be loyal, to be a support in and out of season. So I think you just say so much in that response.
Oh my gosh, that is so loaded. Or you can say that's fine, right? I'm looking for alignment, not confusion.
And these sound like there would be a slap in the face.
I know. This is me saying it, right?
Yes, you are saying this. But like some people need somebody to say that to them for them to have a wake up call. Like, oh, I'm doing this. This is, oh, okay. He doesn't want me because he has values.
Yes.
Or vice versa. She doesn't want me because she has boundaries and expectations. And
she knows what she wants.
She knows what she wants. Yeah.
And that's fine. Like if you come with, hey, listen, that's fine. I'm not looking for alignment or confusion. I'm looking for alignment, not confusion. So in other words, I don't want drama in my life. If you're so unsure about yourself, keep on stepping.
If you really want to be in a relationship with this person, I would be a little more gracious about it. But
I mean, your response sets the tone of how you're going to be treated. I always say to people that we teach people how to treat us. Right?
Yeah.
We are teaching people, because when people come into our lives, they're strangers, right? They're strangers, and you have to teach them, these are my boundaries. This is unacceptable. I like that. I don't like that. And when you say from the get-go, when somebody comes at you with, I just want to basically be friends, you go like, listen, I'm looking for alignment, not confusion. That's fine with me. You're setting the tone of how people should treat you.
Yeah. I just think about, I have a student as a special ed teacher, things happen in the classroom that people would be shocked by. And I had a student who was nonverbal, who taps on his device. He's mad at me. He bops me. And he taps on his device and he says, defend. Another student was having a hard time. And he's like, defend. Set the example for the rest of us.
Set the tone.
Don't be silent. Speak up. Don't let somebody mistreat you or abuse you.
Or abuse it. Yep.
In this way. Speak up.
Speak up. And listen, stop negotiating your standards just to keep somebody around. Stop negotiating your standards, lowering your standards just to keep somebody around. Now, granted, there's some of you that have because I've met them, right? People that have unrealistic standards that they themselves cannot even meet. But I mean, here we're just talking about the basics. Be committed. Be willing at least to give this a try. Be loyal. Don't take me for a ride. Right. I'm not an experiment. So stop negotiating your standards just to keep somebody around. Right,
because if you don't, obviously any kind of breakup is going to be painful, but you will not learn how to be better and to grow as a person and have healthy relationships if you don't make a commitment to say, let's try this out. We will be girlfriend. I mean, I said that to you. Let's see where this goes. But I was not going to be looking in any direction to have another relationship. I was committed to you and to us, so you have to make a choice to step into something serious.
Yes.
And monogamous, I guess I would say, in terms of your commitment to be faithful to one person, emotionally first, and physically, hopefully after.
Yes. Okay, now let's we hope that this is helpful so far, but I always wonder why people attract a certain kind of person to them, right? Like what keeps them hooked? Because we see it coming from 10 miles away. We're like, this is the same kind of guy that you just dumped. and you're about to start another relationship with the same exact person. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're hooked or attracting these kinds of people. So let us talk a little bit about what keeps you hooked.
Sure. I mean, I think you're not self-aware is the number one thing. Like, you're not self-aware. I remember being a young teenager and having a very strong mindset about this is the kind of life that I want, which means I can't do what all the other people around me have done. You know, so even if that is your gauge, like being different from the people around you to get a different result, because doing the same thing over and over is the definition of what? Insanity. Like you have to be self-aware and know that what you want is going to require different behavior.
Different mindset.
And different mindset.
Yeah, so that self-awareness piece is super important. First of all, you need to, I think, and a lot of people don't do this, do a post-mortem of your last relationship. Like, why did that go south? What worked? What did not work? What was it about me that attracted that kind of person? And a lot of people are not willing to face themselves, and so they avoid and quickly jump into the next relationship and repeat the cycle. So that piece of self-awareness is super important. But there is also other reasons. For example, and I've seen this so many times, and I've tried to counsel especially young ladies, especially, where they believe that they can change the person.
Right.
So they're always looking for a project.
Right. The Bible says that without vision, people perish.
Yes.
And if you are in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have vision or values or standards or direction in their life, you will make them your project.
Yes. And I remember in high school, I had this friend of mine. She was interested in one of our other classmates, or rather the classmate was interested in her. But this guy was a playboy, right? He was a player. He was a player. I mean, this is a guy that would come after every weekend on Monday at break time. He would be telling you of his exploits over the weekend. And my friend was beautiful and he was attracted to her. And so she asked me, she goes, in fact, it was two of them, two of my friends who were attracted to the same kind of guys. And so they come to me and say, well, Campbell, this guy is interested in me. What should I do? And so I run through the list. I'm like, this guy is like this. He's like this. He's like this. Why would you want that? Then she goes, I believe I can change him. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Even in high school, I knew, like, why would you take on a project? What makes you think that you can change a person?
Right. And you spend your whole life praying to God for this guy or a girl that they would change so that you could be happy, so that you could fit in their life in a healthy way and make something, partner in life with them. Like, you don't know what you're setting yourself up for.
Exactly. Anyway, other reason might be that you think that they just need time.
And if you are young, like the guy is younger than 26, let me say, his prefrontal cortex is still developing, and
his
that's
executive function.
His executive function, his seat of judgment and making good decisions. I mean, this is similar for girls as well. But, he does need time. So you both need to grow up a little bit before you jump into something serious.
Exactly. And you just be patient with it.
Let me say before the age of 21. I think the prefrontal cortex.
It's actually,
it is 26?
It is actually. Science says that for guys between the ages of 25 to 30, that's when their prefrontal cortex really comes to maturity. And the ladies, it's around 25.
Okay,
we're late bloomers.
Men?
Yes.
I thought you were talking about us.
No, men are late bloomers.
Men are late bloomers, yes.
Yeah. So he might be saying things that he doesn't even know what the consequences are. He'll like, I'll swim across the ocean. Guy can't even swim across a spoon. But like, yo, okay.
He only practices in a bathtub.
He only practices in the bathtub. Hey. I'm allergic to large bodies of water. All right. But basically you think that they just need more time. Or you're afraid that no one else will come along. And so you hold on to what you have in your hand. And it may not be perfect, but I can change him. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, you're afraid no one else will come along, like you're settling.
Yes, you're settling.
You're going to settle. You're going to lower your standards. You're going to lower your expectation. Again, some people have unrealistic standards. But there's nothing but time on your side. Like,
Yes.
you don't have to settle for, like, the people around you, what happens in their lives, it happens to them. You make something happen for your life according to your standards.
Yes.
I mean, some things you're taken by surprise, and, you know, you were surprised with love at 21 years old.
Yes.
And it's scary, but, you know, generally you really, you shouldn't settle so quickly.
Yes. And sometimes people also get trapped. And this, especially with young people, they feel like I've invested way too much time for me to let go right now. Listen, you're in your 20s, some of you, you're going to be 40 one day. That is 20 something years from now. Maybe you're in your 30s, you're going to be 50 at some point. That'll be 20 something years from now. You cannot feel like I've already invested so much time. This is why it's super important that you do not rush to emotional entanglements, especially when you have somebody who is unsure about you. Don't give up a lot of your life for somebody who is unsure.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and this can go a lot of different directions. You know, we've counseled people in the past who had teenage pregnancies, you know, that just because you are having a child together doesn't mean that you have to get married right now. And that may be contrary to a lot of religious circles, but you have to commit to raising that child. You know, you're forced into a place of having to be responsible for another life. And you want to be the healthiest possible and still, and be able to grow so that you can be the strongest, most, you know, the most productive person for the health of your own child.
Exactly.
We could go on and on about that, but you know, it's when the physical comes first, things happen and you have to become responsible. That doesn't mean that you're destined to be with that person forever.
Yes. And that's why it's just super important that you take it slow. Okay? You take it slow, especially when they have said that one phrase that should set alarm bells off. You know, I'm not ready for a relationship, but, you know,
I don't want to lose
I don't
you.
want to lose you. Take things slow, very, very slow. All right. Because every second that you spend with someone who doesn't value who you are is a second that you delay the one who will.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the final take, honey?
Final takeaway. So when someone tells you that they're not ready, believe them, right? When someone avoids clarity, don't provide comfort. And when someone keeps saying, let's just go see where this goes, know that it's probably going nowhere. Except deeper into confusion and self-doubt. So because when words don't match actions, you're not building love. You're being used. Okay? You're not building love. You're being used.
Exactly. Right. All I can say is take it easy. Don't rush things. When that phrase is said or a version of it, that should set an alarm bell off in your mind and in your spirit. And you go like, okay, I need to quickly define what this relationship is. And when somebody avoids defining that, then you know that they are not the person for you. If you would like to find out more tips on just how to have healthy relationships, watch this next video and we will see you right back here next week. God bless you and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.